Yes, we're up on a marathon today. Why, quite a few videos for do. Okay, next topic is the beaches. Now, I meant to do this topic for the longest while. Jamaican assets. Now, there's quite a few things that I want to address in terms of beaches in Jamaica. I did kind of allude to it in a previous video when I was speaking about the bad roads in Jamaica and other things that was affecting Jamaica in that respect. I think the last mention I had of it was my video about the water shortages and the allegations of using sewage trucks to transport drinking water to residents throughout certain places that were affected in Jamaica. But from what I can understand, it's an island-wide problem. Water not just lack off in a rural areas, water lack off in the city too. Because when I used to be in Jamaica, I can tell you, it was a regular thing for water to lack off every day. 7 days a week, 365 days of the year, water lack off. And I don't want to blow up the spot too much. And I don't want to come across a certain type of way. But let's say, me never grew up in the ghetto. Yeah, me never grew up in the ghetto. Me grew up in an area where it was comfortable. Yeah, let me just say that. Because I'm going to try to be as modest and humble as I can. I don't like push things in a people's face. So I grew up in an area which was comfortable. And a lot of my neighbors and friends and families that we grew up with were also comfortable. But at the same time, all of we suffered the water lack of shortages. No matter whether they are Red Hills, Queens Hill, Jacks Hill, Stony Hills, it don't really matter. Kirkland Heights, Narbrook, Havendale, Meadowbrook. It no matter which part you did, the Barbican, shout out to the Paddington Terrace crew. It no matter which part we did, the brother. Water lack off on a regular. You understand me? Sometimes even when I used to go to school, water used to lack off when we used to go to school. And it's no secret, me used to go Calabar High School. And I must admit, let me just take a pin and say, congratulations to C-Bar. During my time at Calabar, that amazing entrance that you guys put up, that never in my time. So when me go up on YouTube and me see the entrance when I put up, boy, that made my heart feel so. I was like, yo, that's a good look. That's a good look. Back to topic. Beaches. So yeah, I don't think beaches should be owned by anybody. Now, I understand that the government have sold properties, beachfront properties, to a lot of foreign nationals who are hoteliers. Fine. You own the land. Now you could argue that the beach is part of the land, but the beach is a port. Circumference around Jamaica, that's security. You can't own that. I'm sorry. And if the government sell you that, that's not legitimate, brother. Because it's only somebody who is stupid. That's like me having my house. I may lease it to you or whatever the case may be. And you say, oh, and by the way, the pathway from the gate leading up to the house, I want that too, and privatize it. Me go say, well, hold on a minute. No, you can't. You can't do that. You can't have that. No, you can't have that. So that's the situation that's going on here. So the indigenous people of Jamaica, born and grow, born and bred, my advice to Uno is, because somebody stick up a sign and say private property, it doesn't mean that them own it. Do you understand me? It doesn't mean that they own it. And I've been in a situation that I see these people up in the coast, north coast, west coast, wherever. Them have them look a beach party and them draw some look a tape and them sit down there and charge people for walk on the beach for come on one party. And I say, well, you hold your party in the wrong place. If you go hold a party at Jamaica, you can't charge people for go up on the beach.
They go free match.
You cannot do that. That's me not say, oh, that legitimate. Would I never do that. And me I don't know if I go broke out in a whatever upon the beach. Because you're not going to do that. You're not going to stop me from accessing my beach. Because you decide to go in a public area and corner it off, which me own, you own, and the whole of Jamaica own. The taxpayers own it. You go corner it off and commercialize it for money. I'm sure so the money you want to get from that and you're not paying no tax on it. You understand me? I know if you not go through the right channels to get permission for a whole party on beach. You understand? Because anybody that's a whole party, all these people who host parties, in other spaces. Them have to get license and permission and abide by one bag of regulation, how loud the music must be, what time them have to lock off, and all of them things there. But you got these so-called uptown people, you know who you are, yeah? You know, uno hold on a beach and string up on a set and not charge people to come on the beach for playing the music anyway. And some people just want to go up on the beach to go relax. To me, you hold your party in the wrong spot. Find somewhere else for hold your party and stop prohibit people from and harassing people from using the whole of the beach in Jamaica public right round. If me want a beachfront property, me would have never stop somebody for walk on the beach. Even if me step out of my backyard and me step right on the white sand. Me go say, brother, you can't walk. But you see, if you step off of the white sand and step on the dirt part, which are my property, then me I got a problem. And obviously me knowing me go fence off the part there anyway. You understand me? If anybody that's been up places like and places like that, I don't want to blow up the spot too much. But if you go to places like that, you will see that most of the houses that face towards the beach, them fence off them property, but the people them under the back can access the beach and walk up and do what they want to do. Them now say, well, my house the rightest and it's within 20 feet of the beach, so me own that little section here at the beach. You can't do that. The fishermen them need for make them living. Them people need for walk them dog and race them horse and do what they want to do. You can't stop them. That's stupid. So that's that situation. So to me, owning beaches is not legitimate. Even if the government sell you the beach and you privatize it, you'd have to go lock me up and would have sue. So we're gonna be, because you'd have to go show me some legitimate papers that says you exclusively own this beach and nobody is allowed to access this beach, and because it's not a public beach. Me not agree with that, and that's if that not because there's a law don't mean the law is right. So here's my situation to Mark Golding. When you become prime minister, brother, you need to revoke all of them nonsense there. That's your first thing you need to do. You need to contact all of the hoteliers them and say, listen, you buy your thing legitimately from the previous administration. We're gonna honor that. But you see, when it comes to the beaches, I'm sorry, that get revoked. That's nationalized. That is Jamaica. That belongs to Jamaica. That part of Jamaica you can't own. And a matter of fact, beachfront properties that foreign nationals come in and buy, you shouldn't even sell it to them. You lease it to them. You lease it to, so what happened with Hong Kong and China? Them lease it to Britain for 99 years. Britain spend money and invest money and build up Hong Kong for 99 years, to the point where the Chinese people who born and grew and bred in Hong Kong feel say them not Chinese and them not even get on with mainland Chinese. But at the end of the day, China was smart enough to say, listen, we will lease your Hong Kong. The West can come in and spend your money, gamble, drink, smoke, have women, do your thing, enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. But it's when the 99-year lease up, it's up to us to renew it. But by then, the Western investment and money has built up, Hong Kong for over a century, almost a century. That China does say, why should we extend the lease? Thank you for building up Hong Kong. I think we'll take it from here. So Jamaica shouldn't be selling out no beachfront property to no foreign national. Yes, if you're a Jamaican, born and bred indigenous, you can buy beachfront property, but you can't own the beach. If you're a foreign national and you want to come and invest in Jamaica, you can't buy. You know how many countries in the world where foreigners can't own a land, them can't own farmland, them can't own commercial land, them can't own residential land, them can't even buy a house, them can't even buy a hut. And that's for good reasons, because when foreign nationals come in with them big money and funding and buy out a piece of a country, they make it very difficult for government and citizens in that regard. So it's best if you have them on a situation where you have them at arm's length and say, you're welcome in as investors. You can come to our beautiful tropical sunshine and sun and whatever. Fine. But this is not for sale. But you can lease it. You want it for 50 years, 20 years, 80 years, whatever. Because what if you sell something to somebody and then politically or religiously they become an extremist or they become a pariah in the country? Now you're stuck with these people. You understand me? While in other countries, if you're on your best behavior, them keep renewing the lease and you're good. The minute you start slip up and you start interfere with them politics and start spread money around to influence political decisions, or you start to get involved in the local personal affairs of the country as a foreigner, yeah, them can tell you if I pack your bags or leave. And how they will say to you, listen, you when your lease up, don't bother apply for a renewal of your lease. When your lease up, just pack your stuff, and it was nice doing business with you. I just saw the thing said. But you see, Jamaica so stupid and gluttonous. Jamaica so, gluttonous, and I'm talking to politicians now, because I use the term Jamaica a lot, but I don't mean a broad sweeping brush of Jamaicans. I'm talking about the so-called leaders and politicians, or whosoever class themselves as elite. In my book, nobody not elite, but hey, whatever suits your fancy. Those are the people I'm referring to. You cannot come into a country and buy up beaches. The last time I did a video on the water shortage with the trucks and the sewage trucks and the allegations of all of that, whether it was happening or not. I mentioned that you can't own rivers either. So even if you have a property, and I'm not going to go over it because that video is there, it didn't get much views, so go watch it and support the thing, man. Sure. Now, that video have a lot of good information in it, but it's just weird that only the stuff that's going viral, if I comment on it, it got views. So me know the algorithm, me know the cheat code, but I don't like to cheat. I like to go with what's in here. You understand me? I like to do videos with what's in here. I don't have to look around and say, well, everybody will do video and I talk about this, and I talk about that, and I talk about the other. So me have to do a video to get some views and ride the wave too. Okay, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's many times I want to do videos talking about more important stuff, brother, that's affecting the country and the people. But that's not the thing that's viral, and that's not the thing that's pushing. So because of that, it now get the views because the algorithm now pick it up, which is fine, but I'm going to still do my thing. So I don't think that, if you own property and a river run through your property, you can't own the river, brother, because that don't make no sense. Because as I said in my previous video, I don't want to go over it. I want you guys to go and watch that video. Is what if me decides if I dam up the river because me want build a pond, or want do a wood creek, or me want siphon off the water so me can have continuous supply of alternative water when the government water pipe them lock off. I mean, I have water in my house. Anybody who downstream to me, I go suffer. All the wildlife I go suffer. The fish them in the sea I go suffer. And not just the fish them I go suffer, And the birds and wild animals them who drink water I go suffer too. Do you understand me? So, and the other communities further downstream. So there's a few things that foreign nationals and Jamaican indigenous people can't own. So whether you're a foreign national or you're a Jamaican, born and grow. You understand me? Yard man or yardie or whatever you want to call yourself. You cannot own, for obvious reasons, you can't own rivers. You can't own waterfalls. And you cannot own beaches. Think about it. You can't. So this is why if Mark Golding get back into if he gets into office, my assumption is he probably is gonna win the next election. When you get back into office, you need to first thing contact all of these hoteliers and say, listen to me. The business is good, business is booming. We appreciate what you're doing, bringing some employment to the country, but you can't own the beaches. But that's security. That's national security. Class them as national security. In Britain, certain buildings, you can't renovate them because them build them 200, 300, 400 years ago. And they're classed as what you call listed buildings. And you can't touch it. Even though you buy the building, and you have the paperwork to say you own the building, you can't renovate the building outside of the original design. You have to get special permission so them can see the architectural blueprints of what you intend to do with your own property where you buy, and then we decide whether you can or cannot make the adjustments or changes that you want to make. And that's for good reason. It's heritage. Those businesses are classed as listed buildings, so they come under the heritage. So you can't change it. So if it's a building where, I don't know, some famous person of the past 200-300 years ago used to own or use for whatever reason, They're listed buildings. Most of the churches in England are listed buildings because of the way the architecture is. They have a certain type of architecture. They're listed buildings. Buckingham Palace and places like that, they're listed buildings because them buildings they stand up for much 100 years. You can't just say, boy, I'm modernize it and change up this and switch up that. They're going to say, no, that is protected under heritage. But I me own the property, me buy it outright. Me not own no money upon it. Me have to see the papers, yeah. Yeah, but it's a listed building. You can't change it unless we within the the spheres of what we allow. So it's the same thing. You can't own beaches. You can't own waterfalls. You can't own rivers, brother. Me not understand how much time I got to rivet this in a people brain. So Mark Golding, when you get in a power, you need to reverse this beach owning thing and say, listen, but you can police it. Where you can say, listen, Jamaicans, when you come on this beach, you're going to be interacting with and coming into close proximity of tourists, foreign tourists. So we, urge you to be on your best behavior. Rather than put up a sign that's a private property on the beach, you can't come in. Put up a sign that says, beware of tourists that are here. Make sure you're on your best behavior and be as friendly and courteous with the tourists as possible. Because we understand tourism and Jamaica and all that. But you see, when you go too much one way because of tourism and the tourist dollar, that's crazy, brother. You can't do something for benefit one side and the other side starve. You can't chop off your left hand to spite your right hand. You can't dig out your right eye to spite your left eye. That don't make no sense. You need both eye, you need both arms. So both the tourists need to enjoy our asset when they come to Jamaica. They can enjoy it because them spend them good money, hard-earned money. Them could have go anywhere in the world, them come. So Jamaica have a lot to offer in that respect. But at the same time, born and grow indigenous Jamaicans and citizens of Jamaica must also be able to access all beaches anywhere. If I walk, I suppose I can jump on a bicycle and if possible right round the coast of Jamaica upon the beach. Sometimes when we're in New York, you can jump on a bicycle and ride from Jones Beach to Long Beach. The distance, far the distances, brother. And right through that thing, you can't get stopped. When I was in Virginia, same thing. So much hotel on the beach. Beautiful hotels stretch for miles in both directions. And me as a tourist in America, because obviously I'm British, when I went over there, I was able to access the beach. But most of the people, them Americans, you hear the American accent, them local, them come from other states, and some of them from the same state, and some are foreigner like myself who come from abroad. And everybody enjoy the beach. And no big hoo-ha no go on. Nobody never harass me. Nobody never harass anybody from other states that come in. Everybody was just gelling and chilling. A matter of fact, there was not even any signs to that respect. So it's a culture thing. Jamaica needs to the government needs to understand that you can't privatize beaches in Jamaica. You can't privatize rivers. You can't privatize waterfalls. Now, there's a question of somebody buying a property near a waterfall and then build up some type of resort or some type of attraction, yeah. But you can sell your fish and bammy and your steam, whatever you do, and your lobster and whatever else. You know what I mean? You can have music play, you can have games, you can have all these other types of things to entertain, yeah. But what you can do is tell people, say, the attraction is the waterfall. The attraction should be around the waterfall. So in other words, you pick a spot, which is a nice spot, and then you have your situation. But I went into that video already in the water thing video, so go watch that. And it's the same thing with rivers. You understand me? If people want to go catch fish in a river, them can stand up in the river in your property and look upon you and you can't do nothing. Them can raft past it. So in other words, if me decide to say, yo, let's jump on a raft and let's just follow this river as it meanders down and see where it takes us. And see where I go through some property. People can look on me and stand up there all them want. Them have barbecue in them backyard and the river run right through them beach and them have them barbecue. And I go wave to them and say, hello, how you doing? Is the barbecue nice? Okay, have a good day. I'm going to continue me sailing. Them can say, oh, where you do over here? So this is my property. Yeah, your property. Where you stand up and do your barbecue and whatever else you have going on and you look party, yeah, that are yours. But the water, right, so in the river, this not belong to you, brother. It not belong to you. So you can't tell me that. You understand me? A matter of fact, I come out from my raft and stand up in the water and go and watch you. Or me just put on an anchor and anchor my raft right there in the water and broke out my lunch, pack lunch me out. And dip on the raft and have my lunch and I drink my beer and I look upon you while you do your barbecue. Me I look upon you. You play your music and me I enjoy your music. But me in the water, me in the river, you can't stop me. You understand me? But obviously, as I said, there's some type of decorum that got to go. So my thing is, when Mark Golding gets into office, reverse these beach property private thing can't work. Put up signs, yes, but not private beaches and all that nonsense. That's stupid. What you need to do is say, okay, you can have signs because you have some Jamaican, them don't know how to behave. You have some people you can't take them going away. When them go out, them embarrass you. So, and we do have those in Jamaica, let's be honest. So all it is you just have a sign that says, listen, this is a beach where tourists frequent, and therefore we request you to be on your best behavior, to be courteous and be mindful when you're on this beach. Okay? If you would have a group of friends, one bag of crew and whatever, try to keep the noise level down, try to be considerate, whatever. If the tourists approach you, be friendly to them, but not harass them and go up to them and beg them money and try to sell them weed, this, that, and the third. And you can even go as far as to say, if it is found that you are trying to sell them some type of weed or other type of paraphernalia, because we can't use the D word, so some other type of paraphernalia, and you harass them, or it comes across like you're harassing them in any way, or you're coming across like you're being intimidating in any way, because some of them sort of people from these European and American countries, them very apprehensive of black people, and it's only when you live amongst them you know that for real. So where you see in a Jamaica from the Jamaican tourists, you now see the real thing. You are see the relaxed, happy to take a break and and let down them here type. You now see the other side when them back in them country, in the hustle and bustle and in the rat race. The real them is what you see there. So them not as friendly then. So all me I say is they're very apprehensive of us. So the most you can do is don't come across as intimidating, don't nag them, don't harass them, and don't try and sell them any type of paraphernalia in any way and beg them money and all them type of thing there. Yeah? But at the same time, having said that, you should be able to enjoy the beach as a citizen and an indigenous person of Jamaica. Now, if you're seen to harass tourists or intimidate them or anything in any way, or being antisocial in any way, then at that point, I think it's the law, not the hoteliers, okay, not their security. Their security should basically call the police and say, listen, there's a group of guys over there or a group of girls over there that's being very loud and very antisocial, or they're harassing the tourists, or they're doing something, whatever, nefariously, and we request that you come and escort them off the beach if they don't behave, or give them a warning. So make the police go over there, make the officer go over there, because it looks better for the tourists as well than the security guard. Because what the security guard approach them if they're being disruptive. They're going to argue with the security and say, but after you're no police, you have no jurisdiction. So the security should just secure whether upon the hotel grounds, then yes. But once it's upon the beach, police should have there. If I even for post up a little place you can post up a couple police officers and them have shifts. And them do them thing and them try and be as blending in the background as possible. Maybe them not have on a uniform. Them can just be in a plain clothes, them shorts and t-shirt and flip-flops, just like normal tourists. But then them can draw down upon some people when them start going stupid and flash them badge and say, police. And when them see the ID, them say, rah, police, oh, you look so, you're not short. You look like a tourist, brother. Yeah, well, we are police and, we've been observing what you're doing and, this is your first and only warning. Or it's a situation where we say, listen, you can't stay right there, so, you need to, we're going to give you the opportunity to leave peacefully. If you don't, we will arrest you, put you in a handcuff and escort you off of the premises that way. You understand me? So that's that situation. Hotel can ban people if say them can't come back on the beach because they misbehave. Leave that to the police. The police are the one that when they prosecute them can say, listen, because of the things you have done, it is so gross that you're banned from coming to this beach for such and such a time, or we're going to give you a fine or whatever. But the hoteliers don't have no jurisdiction over beaches. I don't know how this not compute with people. It's not very difficult. It's not complicated at all to understand. So there's clear jurisdiction where the hotel can take control with their security and their property, and then where from the borderline between where the beach stop and the property start, or the grass are grow, because grass not grow up on beach. So where the grass are grow or whatever it is, from this on, that under the jurisdiction of the hotel. Where the grass stop and this white sand beach start, that a public property, anybody can walk right up to this and do what they want to do, and they should be free to enjoy it. But as I say, with some type of decorum. And the same I would say for waterfalls, the same I would say for rivers, in that respect. And as I said, other things that I don't think should be sold off is certain utilities, because as you know, even the electric company, I did mention this in the other video as well, is owned by a Japanese, I think it's a Japanese company. If it's not a Korean company, I think it's a Japanese company. I'm going to put the information up so you can see it on the screen. So yeah, that's that situation. Them shouldn't own that at all, because what that shows you is that when people don't have an legitimate tied interest into a country, them don't have any empathy or sympathy for how people are suffer. Because if you can't pay the bill, them quick for lock off your light. No, I'm not saying if it was a Jamaican own and bread, but let's put it this way. You think any Jamaican, ask yourself this question, you think any Jamaican can pick themselves up and go places like Japan and many of these other countries and say, when I set up utility company to supply the nation with electricity and you own it? You think that's possible? You know, see the security there, so. You have to look on certain things and realize it's not even politics, it's security. You understand me? So for that reason, you understand why certain things foreign people can't own. Foreign people can't own radio stations. If foreign nationals are own radio station, because radio station is a way that most governments use to relay and disseminate information out to the public. Now, if a foreign national own that, you can see the problems there. So we understand that. So you can't own radio stations, you can't own water companies, you can't own electricity companies, you can't own the railroad, you can't own roads. So even though China built the road, I was looking at that, to be honest, and I was like, I looked at that and I thought to myself, okay, Jamaica need Chinese technology and Chinese labor and industriousness to build these road networks that is badly needed in Jamaica, urgently needed in Jamaica. And they've only scratched the surface in that regard. So, okay, they started off with these, express highways, but then they put up toll roads. And I'm like, why you're putting up toll roads? And not only do they have these toll roads, them also, from what I understand it, allegedly, give China all these prime real estate of hundreds, if not thousands of acres of land, including a port. You think let's be honest, when I have nothing against China, I like Chinese people. I've got Chinese people in my family. So, as I say, we're not even going to go down that road there. So I have to prove nothing. But let me tell you this. You think Jamaica, any foreign national can go to China, go by a port? The port them on the wharf, and them, you think you can go get that? That's a national security. You understand me? That's a Coast Guard thing. You can't own that. You can't own that. You cannot. So, I don't understand how the government and the people themselves greedy and licky. This is why foreigners are coming in and buy up Jamaica, because them say, but them people are greedy and them stupid and them dumb. So eventually, you're gonna have a situation where Jamaica living in Jamaica and them not own nothing. You need foreigners' permission to leave. Can you imagine you reach a situation where if you want jump on a plane, a foreigner own the airport? Well, I want to put my goat mode on it. But imagine that. Them own the airport. So if them decide, say, boy, for whatever reason, them want to lock down the airport and decide who can pass through the airport because them own the airport and them own the property. Legally, if that's the case, them can prevent you from flying out via for them airport. Them so go find another way to get to the airline you can't get to, but you not get it to yourself. So airports can't be owned. Ports in general can't be owned. Bays, can't be owned. That them could be by the coastal area. You can't own bays, you can't own ports, you can't own rivers, beaches, waterfalls, train lines. There's so many things you can't own. You understand me? As a foreign national, why else you can't own? You can't own the universities and the schools. You understand me? There's certain things that to do with not just to the conducive to the overall running and security and operations of the country. You're talking about the education of the country and education of the next generation. You can't leave that in a foreign hands who own it, that can bring in their own curriculum. So there's a lot of stuff. And yes, you have private schools in Jamaica, and I get it, and there's the status symbol to it. But for the most part, they've been playing good. But let's believe that if they wanted to, they could change the curriculum and teach what they want to teach. You understand me? Because certain school, which is religious, like Immaculate, and other schools, which is Kingsway High School, which is, as far as I understand, it is a Seventh-day Adventist school. How me know? All right, me know. I'm not even sure if Kingsway still exists, but Kingsway is a kind of a private schoolish, I think. But it's got a church in there as well, Seventh-day Adventist church on the grounds, and it's a school as well. Very good school actually. Up here, uptown people used to go there. You talk about Priory, you want to talk about Kingsway. You want to see the car them used to pull up in there and drop off them pitney at daytime. Hey, boy, may I tell you, there's two Jamaicans, I don't want to talk and reveal too much because I've been sending a lot of videos. Hey, there's a whole heap of things I could have talked, but anyway. As I'm saying, I don't want to sidetrack because the video go long as usual. But you can't own beaches, you can't own waterfalls, you can't own rivers, you can't own ports and bays, and you can't own like electricity and water companies. Those are security. Those are national security. So when two countries are at war, what do you think them target first? When two enemies at war, two enemy countries at war, what do you think them target first? It's not just military bases them target, Them target the water supply and them target the electricity supply. So you have a foreign national, and the foreign national belong to a country that you fall out with. Because you can be friends with a country, and then later on it turns out that you and them fall out, and now you and them are enemies. But there's a foreign national from that country who own your water company or own your electricity supply company. Now what? See the problem there, so. See the elephant in the room right there, so. So there's reasons why a lot of countries around the world don't allow foreigners to own land, to own even sports and all these other stuff that I mentioned. And even in a lot of Asian countries, not just China, most Asian countries and from what I understand, it's Saudi Arabian countries, you're only allowed to own certain part of land in certain designated areas. And there's a criteria and a condition that you have to abide by in order for you to continue owning it. And Jamaica should be no different in that respect. The Caribbean for that matter. And that's all I want to say on this actually. So, yeah.